Yeah, I think you can tell from the title of this video that I'm going to talk about reform, but I'd like to start by talking about the Tory party at the moment, and in particular, obviously, Kemi Badenoch. And I can see at the moment this week she's very much attacking Labour over immigration and talking about how the Tories are going to do a better job, blah, 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 blah. And the Tories, they are ahead in the polls at the moment, and I think people are sort of saying, can this be the start of a new dawn for the Conservative Party? They've got a right-wing leader again, someone who seems, to want to sort of control immigration, lower taxes, and things that the voters have really been calling for quite a long time. And of course the obvious questions about can Kemi Badenoch kill off the elephant in the room, which of course is the Reform Party. So I thought I'd put my 2 pence in with this video, but I think actually, the Tory party have missed their chance with this, and my God, they've had a lot of chances. I think now they're on the way out. I think they've been dishonest one time too many. Obviously the latest leader before Badenoch was Rishi Sunak, and he made one of his, big solid, gold solid pledges that he was going to control immigration. And of course, there was a recent documentary on the BBC that revealed to Suella Braverman talked about his true feelings that behind the scenes he was actually like, well, it would cost us too much money, not having all these extra immigrants in this year to raise GDP. It would cost the economy too much money. So he didn't really want to do it. It was just a big lie. It was a big smokescreen for the public. Kick the can down the road and make sort of vague sort of things about controlling immigration, of course, with no intention of actually doing so. So I think, like I say, the public have been lied to one too many times by the Conservative Party, and I think now the trust has been absolutely eroded. Because if you look, you had several leaders, even Boris, David Cameron, all these leaders saying they were going to control immigration. Of course, none of them did. It's just gone up and up and up. And I think the figures that came through the other day, 900,000 net migration in 2023 and 700,000 so far this year. I mean, it's insane. It's 1.6 million extra people in this country. We cannot keep that up. Of course, that's going to have a huge negative impact on people's lives. Now I'm going to blow my own trumpet a little bit here. I'm going to say, so I started getting obviously very into politics, weirdly perhaps, as an 11-year-old. And I predicted that at the 1997 general election, I predicted the winner. I predicted who would win, and of course it was a very easy prediction, obviously, because everyone knew Labour was going to win, and they did. Where I want to sort of blow my trumpet a little bit more is every election since then, including the European elections, I predicted the winner, the correct winner. And some of those, the polls got it wrong right up until the end. I remember when they thought Miliband was going to win, and I knew that he wasn't. That sort of thing. And I remember the two I predicted that I was particularly proud of were UKIP winning the European elections, and also later Brexit Party. UKIP won particularly because they had Labour way ahead the polls officially, and they thought that UKIP didn't have a chance of winning that one; they were going to come second. And I tried to place a sizable bet for me, not a sizable bet for probably a lot of people, but it was a sizable bet for me. I tried to place that with the bookies, and they wouldn't take the bet. I couldn't get anyone to accept that bet, annoyingly, because I could see all these odds advertised, but you walk into a bookies and try and place a bet like that, several years in advance, they won't take it. So God knows where you can probably do it online somewhere, but God knows where you can actually place a bet like that. But yeah, I was proved right on those occasions. So in my adult life, well, since I was 11, since I started predicting elections, I've never called one wrong. Now going into this election, I correctly predicted that Reform would win, a handful of seats, best case scenario, which is what happened. But my prediction for the next winner, if there is an election in 2029, I think it muddies the waters if there's, it could well happen that Starmer messes up to the extent that they call an election next year or something, then, that kind of voices prediction. But if there is one in 2029, I'm going to call it now, that the winner will be the Reform Party, and Nigel Farage will be installed as the new PM. Now, perhaps for the first time on this, I am actually wrong, and I'm going to be hugely off the mark. And if that's the case, this video is still up, and anyone actually watches this, you can all sort of jump on me in the comments and say what an idiot I was. But that's what I believe will happen. And as I probably will try and place a bet on it at some point. We need to do it soon because the odds are going to be reducing real soon, I think. But yeah, I just wanted to put it out there as an official prediction. Now that I've actually made a video about it, I'll probably be wrong for the first time. But no, I don't believe I will be. I think that's the way the tides turn now. The momentum's all with Reform, including the youth vote more and more. Notice since Reform, suddenly gained all the under sort of 20-year-olds, support. They're sort of polling neck and neck with Labour in that age group. Suddenly Labour have stopped going on about wanting to reduce the voting age, which was always a ridiculous plan anyway. But I find that very interesting. So yeah, you heard it here first. Nigel Farage, PM 2029, with Reform as the ruling party.